Steroids become more popular than ever. An estimated 3 to 4 million Americans are on steroids for non-medical uses. We're watching impressive transformations occur, watching record after record being broken, while we're seeing the side effects of steroids rear their ugly heads. This will be an unbiased analysis. Are steroids worth it? Well, first of all, what even are steroids? There are two different kinds of steroids, ones you inject and ones you orally swallow. So there are two main kinds of steroids that you inject: testosterone, or test, or tren. But all of these steroids that you inject, they fundamentally work the same. You get a syringe and inject it about an inch deep into larger muscles, such as the quads, delts, or glutes. Yes, really. There are many places in which you can get injected with steroids. It could be at a clinical setting, or it could be with questionable third parties. Assuming you injected the steroids correctly, there are no immediate effects of the steroids, although some might experience a placebo mood boost. Although for tren, insomnia will come very quickly. For some, it's as soon as a night immediately after. Over the next few hours inside your body, the steroids will begin to bind to androgen/hormone receptors in your body. They immediately begin muscle protein synthesis, also known as growing your muscle, as well as they begin to limit muscle breakdown. For tren, it'll increase dopamine, as well as increase aggression very quickly. If you took test, it will immediately begin interacting with aromatase, and will be converted into estrogen. Not all of it, but a decent chunk of it will, which has its own side effects. It'll lead to gyno, which is pretty much you growing breasts. It'll also lead to mood swings, fat storage, especially in your lower body, as well as it'll raise blood pressure. However, tren will not convert into estrogen, as well as both tren and test will cause sebaceous glands on your skin to produce more oil. This is what causes acne. In tren, it's even worse. It can cause cystic acne, which is much more likely to get infected than normal acne, and also is much more painful. For test, it's bad, but not as bad as tren. However, depending on a conversion to estrogen, it could get worse. You can fight back by taking good showers and generally just staying clean. All steroids, especially tren, will decrease, if not entirely shut down, your natural production of testosterone. This can lead to a complete dependency on steroids when you need to take them for the rest of your life for basic health. And then there's also hair loss. For test, it converts it into DHT, which will decrease hair on your head, but increase hair literally everywhere else. For tren, it does not convert to DHT, however, it still does cause hair loss, but the way it does is really complicated and kind of outside the realm of this video. But for tren, the same thing happens. You lose hair on top of your head, but grow it pretty much everywhere else. And by everywhere, I mean everywhere. Your face, your legs, your chest, back, arms, neck, etc. Quite frankly, for test, effects in the brain are very mixed. If you have low testosterone, test will help to an extent. Once you begin taking too much test, that's when it becomes an issue. It could cause memory loss, brain fog, as well as reduced attention span. Low T can cause depression, and tests can help fix this. However, once you begin taking too much, it can also give you anxiety. For tren, it's not really mixed, it's more just negative. Tren can cause mental fog and memory problems, especially on a long-term scale. Tren can also increase cortisol, which can cause brain atrophy over long periods of time. And brain atrophy is one of the leading risk factors for Alzheimer's and dementia. I've saved the most extreme impact of steroids for last, that being the effect on the heart and the cardiovascular system in general. Starting with test, it'll increase blood pressure slightly, as well as strain the cardiovascular system in general. Test will stimulate the production of red blood cells, and this will thicken the blood, which can cause blood clots, which can also cause a heart attack or a stroke. Your heart is also a muscle, which means it'll grow after you take test. This sounds good, but it's not at all. This strains the heart and causes inefficiency, and is a huge factor for heart failure as well as an irregular heartbeat. For tren, it's an extreme. Take pretty much all the side effects of test and put them higher. This means even higher blood pressure, even thicker blood, even more strain on the heart, and even bigger chance of a heart attack, stroke, heart failure, or an irregular heartbeat. When you see a headline that a young bodybuilder has passed away, unfortunately, it's usually due to stuff like this. However, there are some positive side effects of steroids. Your bones generally benefit from steroids, such as increased bone density and increased overall bone health. For tren, it's slightly higher, as well as steroids can lead to more confidence and higher self-esteem since you're bigger now. It can also help focus, especially tren. So I've explored the effects of steroids, both positive and negative, focusing mostly on the popular ones, test and tren. Overall, I can't really say whether they're worth it or not. It's a personal decision that's up to you. You should consult your doctor before you do anything else though. So, are steroids worth it? You tell me. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Overall, I don't really have much to say in this outro card. I'm going back to my regular upload schedule of pretty much every single day for the next few months. But overall, that's kind of it. See you next time, and bye.
Check out my new favorite channel. It is so good. Oh my god. Look at it.